This will actually be a super satisfying new moon for anyone who uses this potent lunar energy to their benefit. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the B community. On this channel, we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, and energy updates like today's new moon in Virgo, September 6th and 7th energy update. So this month's new moon is in Virgo, and it's also Virgo season. So there's lots of Virgo energy all around. We also have a ton of planets in various earth signs, so we can expect a lot of satisfaction to come from anything that brings us down to earth, which we're going to talk about today. We're also supported by the earth in doing a lot of different things right now. So if you struggle with being a little bit airy and in the clouds like I do sometimes, the earth is pulling us back down and giving us that really strong and stable foundation to really get the things that we've wanted to do all year long done. I wanted to give just a quick reminder that my energy updates, while they rely on astrology in some ways, what I really do is I tap into the collective unconscious, and I kind of pick up on what we're all going through at the same time. Because what I've noticed is in videos in which I borrow from my own life and talk about the things that I'm going through myself, that's when I get all the comments from you guys that say like, you read my mind. How did you know I needed this? And I knew you needed it because that's what I needed also. Because I do believe that while we have very different lived experiences, ultimately we go through similar seasons as humans, and it all comes back to that collective consciousness. And also I'm psychic, so there's that. So before I get into the 5 things that you should be doing for this new moon in Virgo to best use the energy, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, which requires you to move, Mr. Microphone. Excuse me. Because look at my amulets. So if you don't know, I am the sponsor of today's video. Hello, me again. I own this high vibrational jewelry line called Alchemy by Leeor Alexandra, where we create these beautiful little pieces of art called amulets, okay? Now, each amulet is set with a different intention, and it amplifies the will of its wearer. So whatever it is that you want to manifest, you put this on, it's amplified, okay? It works through numerology and Hebrew code. They're really cool. People really love them. We've been going 3 years strong. And right now, if you haven't gotten yours, it's a really good time to get it because we're doing a bigger sale than we usually do. We are a small company. We're not like a Walmart or a Target or a Revolve or something like that. So we don't necessarily have all, the resources to do huge sales. So this is one of our bigger ones. It is my little brother's birthday on the new moon, and it's the new moon. So to celebrate that, we're giving 15% off your entire order, even solid gold, which is pretty crazy, with the code LUNA. And I'll type that down below for you as well. So if you wanted to get your amulets, I have these chains up there too. This is a mini and this is an original size one. I always wear yellow gold because that's just what I like with my skin tone. But we have white gold and we have rose gold as well. You don't have to get anything, okay? Just if you feel like it, just if you want to match with me. That's all I'm saying. Also, gold prices have gone up. So everybody that bought their solid gold amulets before gold prices went up actually made money on their order. So congratulations for that, because gold is always a good investment and you can pass that down for generations. So yeah, go do that. Love you. Thank you for your support all these years. I really appreciate you. It allows me to do what I do. And let's get into the video. Now, as always, the new moon is a time to set your intentions for the rest of the month or for the rest of the year, whatever feels right to you, or both, right? This month in particular, it's also a time to tend to past seedlings you may have planted on new moons. So let's say a couple of months ago you did a ceremony, or last month you did a ceremony and you asked for certain things. Right now is really a time to tend to those things. So while you could be setting new intentions for the rest of the month, I also want you to go back, and I'm gonna get more in depth with this, to go back and kind of see, well, what did I do? What did I want last month? And how can I tend to it? And we'll talk about that later. But it's definitely a time to check in with those past desires and to nourish them. Give them a little bit more energy and time and attention. Include them in your manifesting this month as well. So first I want to do the energy reading, and then I'm going to get into the 5 things you should be doing in this new moon in Virgo. So you may have been experiencing a challenging time in the past month or so, maybe since the last full moon. But this new moon happily, is bringing in a positive new transition for us. Something is changing for the better. So we're taking what we've learned in the past month and we are using it to change ourselves or our life in some way. Okay, changing something significant in our life, but there might be a little bit of hesitancy there. You might be wondering, well, am I sure about this? Is this the right decision for me? And I want to remind you of something right now. You might feel like you don't know, but the truth is that you know. You already know exactly what you want or exactly what it is that you need to do. You just keep asking the universe to guide you to the right place and asking the universe, is this the right thing to do? Like, am I supposed to do this? Show me a sign if I'm supposed to do this, or show me a symbol if I'm supposed to do that. But the truth is that you already know what the answer is. And even though you might not want to do it or look at it, you know. And once you really sit with yourself and be like, okay, I've been saying I don't know all this time, but I actually do know. And you close your eyes and you're like, okay, I do know. What is it that I know? And kind of outline exactly how you feel. You know, you've had a lot of experience over the last 6 months, 6 to 8 months. You know what it is that you need now. You know what it is that you want now. And it's time to stop waiting on the universe to do it for you. It's time for you to do it yourself. So the second you stop telling yourself, but I don't know, and pivot to, I do know. I know exactly what I want. You'll see that you've known all along. You're just kind of going with the flow before and waiting for something else to make a decision for you. So earthy energy right now is really knowing. You just know what you want. You know what to do. You know what's right and you know what's next. You just know. You've got it. There's a fresh feeling in the air despite what we see in the news, and a new beginning is available to us. With every new moon, we have the chance to start anew, but there's something very pure about this Virgo new moon. It's virginal, right? And that has nothing to do with sexuality. It's just pure. And it wants to explore and it wants to grow. What you've been planting in the last new moon is still germinating, or you may have seen little buddlings of it, little sprouts. But understand that it's still growing. It needs to mature still. It still has to come into maturity. This is a time to get organized. It's time to put some sense to all the chaos that we've been feeling. It's really important to become organized in your physical surroundings. Get organized with yourself, your mind, through meditation to untangle the bound up cords of energy in your field. Get organized with your priorities, who and what is important to you right now. Can you make sure to prioritize those things so that you feel more whole and complete? So, like I was saying, this is a time when past manifestations are really starting to gain momentum, when they're starting to grow. We're seeing buds, we're seeing sprouts, and it's really important to stay the course right now. Even if you might be feeling a little bit let down or dejected, that maybe something you asked for a few months ago hasn't come into fruition yet, but there's a very strong feeling of the roots underground have been spreading and getting really strong so they can absorb all these nutrients. And just because you haven't seen it break soil yet doesn't mean it's not on its way to you. It just needs more time, more patience, more cultivation. So now let's talk about what we should be doing during this new moon in Virgo. This will be on the 6th for some parts of the world and on the 7th in the early morning for others. Remember that you benefit from the energy of the new moon in the couple of days leading up to it and about the 3 days after in this case. So you have plenty of time to do these things. So number one, with a new moon and the sun in Virgo, we're going to really benefit from organization, right? So this isn't necessarily cleanliness. It's just kind of bringing order to the chaos. And it might not even look that neat around you, but you know where everything is. So during this time, you're going to feel a lot of satisfaction from organizing your life. So this is both physically, which is external, right, in our environments, and also internally, our brains, our minds, our energy, our priorities. So it's important to organize your physical space. I'm not saying to completely redo the whole house, but perhaps choose a drawer or a closet to just organize a section of your house that needed some sort of organization. This has started already for me a few days before the energy has started. Probably, you know, Virgo energy is very potent right now. We're in Virgo season. And I found a lot of satisfaction in just organizing, getting rid of things, putting things in places that make more sense. That's a very Virgo thing. It's also important to organize our internal spiritual space. So make lists of people and things and tasks and all that that's important to you right now. And then notice what you're doing on a daily basis and see if those lists align. Are you fulfilling your priorities? What matters to you? Are you spending most of your time on things that don't matter to you and therefore won't fulfill you and won't give you that satisfaction? Take inventory of how you spend your day and see if you can find more harmony or balance things out between what you want to be doing and what you're actually doing, right? So number 2, that leads me to 2, which is to recommit to your daily routine and recommit to your projects. So you may have been feeling somewhat overwhelmed or unable to do your daily routine that you've cultivated or to work on projects that you've been wanting to finish or to work on. This is a really good time to start your routine again if you've fallen off by any chance, like I have, honestly. If you didn't have a routine, it's a good time to come up with one. It doesn't need to be a 15-step morning routine, 20-step evening routine, just a few things that you do on a daily basis that keep you on track. You may have also lost some passion or some drive when it comes to working on something that you've started. And though you won't necessarily feel like a very fiery energy to go after it right now, you might. But if you don't, it's still a very productive time. So this is a good time to just set aside an hour a day to work on that thing that you've been wanting to finish. You're going to do a ton of work now and catch up on everything that you've been putting off. This is really the time to do it. A lot of productive energy. Number 3, tend to your manifestations. I was talking a little bit about this earlier. So we're nearing the end of the year, believe it or not. And right now is not the time to give up on your desires, on the things that you've been wanting to manifest. Right now is the time to recommit. Review your goals, your wishes, your desires, review everything, see which ones are still really important to you and that you really want to feed more energy to them, and let the ones that don't excite you anymore fall away and not take up any more space in your heart and in your mind. So you have been planting seeds in the past new moons, especially if you're not new to my energy readings, and they have been germinating, right? They have been getting nourishment. You might have noticed a little sprouting, like I said before, but right now is the time to continue to nourish them, not to neglect them. So I want you to do this through spending 30 minutes in the morning, if you can, in bed or, sitting on the floor and visualize these things coming into fruition. Revisit your vision board, your Pinterest vision board, if you did that with me a couple months ago. Add to the vision board, tend to it, say your affirmations, go back to journaling and scripting about your desires if you've kind of fallen off in the past few months or half a year, and consume mostly, if not exclusively, positive content. And remind yourself that you're a fun work in progress and that you're making strides. You don't have to be perfect right now, but you're making strides. Remember that those roots are growing and spreading underground. Even if you can't see them, your manifestations are getting stronger. Number 4, so we have a really potent earth energy right now. So this is all about getting out in nature, right? So as I mentioned before, we have several planets in earth signs, and all that earthy energy must be honored in some way. So definitely find a way to incorporate earth elements into your new moon rituals, ceremonies, and manifestations. Ground yourself in nature. Put your feet in the mud, in the dirt, on grass. Spend time in nature as a part of your new moon ritual, right? If you have friends you're doing a ritual with, or family or whatever, or doing it on your own, I do it on my own often. Meet at the park, meet at the beach, go on a hike, and do your journaling and intention setting over there. And number 5 is to be of service. So I see Virgos as such pure souls. They always want to give more of themselves, and that is the energy that we have right now. To honor this energy in this time, it's important to be of service, and that's going to translate to each person in a different way. One of you might want to volunteer, or maybe do something that will make your mom's life easier or a friend's life easier, or create something for free for people that will make their life better or easier, right? Just kind of going out of our way a little bit to make somebody happier, to help somebody out in need. It's going to really pay off during this time. You're going to get a lot of satisfaction from it as well. Now, of course, there's a warning. there's always the shadow side to the energy, and the one that I'm getting for this new moon is to be very discerning about not becoming a martyr. Sorry if I say that wrong. It's one of those words that I write, but I don't often say it. Remember that English is my second language. So the Virgo energy is one that's always giving away of themselves, often until they have nothing left to give. This new moon is not the time for that. In fact, it's never the time for that, but especially don't fall into this trap during this time. You have to fill up your own cup in order to be of service to others. You have to take care of yourself right now. It's important to intentionally ask yourself, what do I need right now? And see what the answer is to that truthfully, and give that to yourself to the best of your ability. Externally, we might be seeing chaos right now, right? California is on fire. The world is going through a lot. It has been going through a lot for a while. But it's important to not lose ourselves to this, because then we're literally of no use. When all our energy is going to all the chaos and all the heartache and tragedy, of course, you should stay aware of what's happening and help in whatever way that you can. You know, however that shows up for you, help for sure. But don't forget about yourself. And I mentioned this in the last full moon video. It's very important to remember that your happiness and your individual lived experience, making that a positive experience, is going to help shift the energy of the world to a more positive environment. So you feeling good is really important for the rest of the world, believe it or not. We're kind of taught the opposite. We're taught to, we're taught to practice martyrdom and to give without giving ourselves anything. You know, it's good to be selfless. It's good to give whatever you can, and of course give when you can, but don't forget to fill up your own cup. So get things in order for the rest of the year, internally and externally. Organize, make a system out of the chaos, revisit your goals, your dreams, your manifestations. Do something good for somebody else, however big or small it is, and enjoy this new moon energy. Meditation is a really good way to organize the inner chaos. So if you don't do anything that I mentioned in this video today, just pick back up a meditation routine, and it will, without you really knowing or realizing it, rewire your neural pathways and create some sort of order in the chaos that tends to exist in our energy when things feel overwhelming in the world. Okay, I hope you liked this video. If you did, all I want is for you to give it a thumbs up and a comment. It really helps. It tells the YouTube algorithm that you like my videos, so that it will suggest to you my videos more often. I appreciate you. I love you. And until next time, as always, keep your vibrations way up. Bye.